see, back to Eden, you know, back to Eden. That's my diet. And I'm going to explain how my diet goes every day. I eat once a day, and people say that I'm malnourished. So I want you to tell me now if I am malnourished from the way I eat. Right? Hardly cooked foods. Everything is semi-raw or raw. Right? And that's my diet right over here. Some of them is missing, like the okra is not here and stuff, but I'll give you an idea how I eat. Right? Grenadians, you ain't see me put no yam and tanya and breadfruit and dashi in here. I don't eat them. I don't eat yam, I don't eat tanya, I don't eat dashi, I don't eat breadfruits, I don't eat no all of the starch food. I use complex carbohydrates. And we're going to tell you what they are, yeah? Alright, now first vegetable we're going to talk about is the cabbage. And you notice the cabbage is like your brain, have a lot of sulfur, but it is very significant not only for brain function, but it is also good for cancer prevention. Cabbage prevents cancer, right? And you see it happen, look like the brain, so it's good for the brain, all right? They usually call tomatoes a vegetable, but I call tomato a fruit because fruits have seeds. Vegetables don't have seeds. You see that like your arteries? Because that's what tomatoes have a lot of lycopene, and you don't get the lycopene unless you lightly steam it. So you should not be eating it raw. And the seeds should be removed because the seeds could get stuck in your appendix and give you appendicitis. But tomato is also a cancer preventer, right? Rainbow colors we call it, all right? Then you have the red pepper. And we use this in a little bit of stir fry, or we could use it raw, and it's good for the heart. And it helps to move the blood, right? Then we have the green pepper. Good for your intestines. It helps have a lot of chlorophyll. It helps to keep the blood healthy. Yeah? Alright? My little daughter, pick up the nuts for me, please. And then we have our nuts. That's how I use nuts and seeds. And seeds have a lot of zinc for the prostate and the thymus gland. Plus you have your sugars from the raisins. And you have all your almonds and you have all your walnuts. And that's what I use every day for my proteins and my calcium and my magnesium and my zinc for my heart and also for my thymus gland and for my prostate, to keep my prostate well. Cauliflower, it's called a complex carbohydrate. It's a starch, but it is a vegetable starch. And this is also anti-cancer prevention. It's a food that prevents cancer, but it should not be eaten raw. It should be lightly steamed to release the indole tree in the cauliflower. Wonderful herb, plant for vegetable for preventing cancer. And corn. It's another what we call complex carbohydrate. I love corn. And if you want to know if you have fast transit time, meaning that your waist is moving quick, eat some corn. And then the corn, if you see the corn in the stool the next morning, that means you have what we call fast transit time. If you see the corn in your stool 4 days after, that means your transit time is very slow. Okay, work on that. And then we have lettuce. I love lettuce. This should be eaten raw. All green leafy things should be eaten raw, and all the coarse vegetables should be lightly steamed to release all the chemicals that help to prevent cancers. All right? This should be eaten raw, and lettuce have a lot of chlorophyll. Lettuce is also good for the blood. It is also good for the heart. Have a lot of calcium, have a lot of magnesium. So it is very good for the bones. Yeah? You don't have to drink no milk now. All right? And then we have all the colors. See? We call them sweet peppers. They're used in abundance in Grenada in people foods, but we try to use them raw because you have all the different colors here, and they're also good for the heart. Then we have chive. Chive is a plant that we use in Grenada to season our foods, and we call it a food herb, and it's good to keep the digestive system well, keep the lungs well, and also keep the intestinal tract healthy. And then the small thyme. This is a very important herb for the lungs. It's antiviral, antibacterial. If you have any kind of cough, colds, flus, small thyme should be used in the foods on a regular basis. Then we have onions. I like to use onions a lot raw because you look at the onions, see, it cleans the arteries out. See the onions are like your arteries. So if you use the onions raw, you get a lot of allicin, but it also cleans. You keep your arteries clean so you don't have blockages in the arterial walls. Right? keep the heart well. Cucumbers. Cucumber have a lot of silica, and it's good for the skin. It flushes the bladder, flushes the kidneys. But if a woman is going through menopause and she's having hot flashes, cucumber mixed with celery could cool the hot flashes down. She feel a little cooler. So this vegetable is very important in keeping for hot flashes and also for the bladder. Yeah. And then we have all the greens: lemongrass, the Sivan thyme, the parsley, all these herbs, food herbs. See them here? That's what I use. You understand? To keep myself well. And then we have a little bit of some of the watercress mix with some parsley here, and that's also good. Parsley is also good for gallbladder stones. If you have any stones in your gallbladder, use lots of parsley tea, and the gallbladder stones will disappear with the gallbladder flush. Yeah. And then we have sea moss. That's how I use it. And this is a food by itself. Sea moss. It have a lot of trace elements: calcium, magnesium, boron, zinc, you know what I mean? Iodine, good for the thyroid gland and good for the heart. So this is like a food for itself. So I cannot be malnourished, period. You understand? Never. You understand? Then we have ginger. Ginger is good for a cold, damp condition of the lungs. It is anti-inflammatory. It is good for pulmonary circulation. It is also good for osteoarthritis. It is also good for digestive problems if you have troubles in the digestive system. It is also good to bring up hydrochloric acid in the stomach if you're past the age of 50. So ginger is a food you should be using on a regular basis. Tamarind. It's a sour herb, but it is good for high blood pressure. But the sourness in this particular herb is good for the liver. And this herb have a lot of copper, which help to metabolize zinc properly. So this should be used just like that, not putting sugar in there. It helps your liver, and it's also good for your stomach also. And then we have mango, lots of vitamin C. So I can't be malnourished because our body function on vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes, and all these food have a lot of enzymes and vitamins and minerals. So how come I'm malnourished? And I'm saying when a person eating food 3 times per day and the food is dead atoms you all eating, yeah? All right. Then you have apple. An apple a day keep the doctor away. You understand? And sea moss. Sea moss, and we have a sorrel. This herb is good to build the blood. 18% iron, 27% potassium, which is also good for the heart. High potassium, low sodium, that prevents cancers. You understand? This is what I use. Don't boil it, soak it. And this will build the blood, but it have a lot of silicon, which is important for what? Digestive health, especially your large intestines. And then we have green bananas and ripe bananas. And I will use this banana, if I'm doing some onion and stuff. But if you're eating green bananas, you must always drink some water. Sip a little bit of water with this, because this food could make you constipated if you don't chew it properly and drink a little bit of water with it. All right? That's what I use. So this is what, and the water. We catch in water. You understand? Alkaline water. That's what we use. And the pumpkin. See the pumpkin seeds? Pumpkin should be lightly steamed, and even though you're going to put it in your pot, make sure you put it with the skin on, because it have a lot of lycopene and it have a lot of beta carotene, and it also converts into vitamin A to give you good eye health. So this should be used on a regular basis, but do not throw away the seeds, because the seeds have lots of zinc, lots of fatty acids, and keep the prostate gland well, so you men could have good sexual health. Dig it? And then you have your carrots, which have a lot of beta carotene also, which converts into vitamin A. And this also should be lightly steamed, not eaten raw, because in order for these vegetables to release the beta carotene and the lycopene, they must be lightly steamed. All right? So they say I'm malnourished, and I want you to tell me today if I'm malnourished. And last but not least, soursop with the seed too. You understand? That's my minerals in here. Lots of minerals, lots of magnesium, lots of calcium, lot of boron in soursop. and I freeze it and put it in a little punch and drink it every day, but I'm malnourished. You're right. So if I eat this food every day, raw, semi-raw, yeah, and you eating 3 plates of food cooked every day with 5% of these and more of your refined carbohydrates, who is malnourished? Because your food is cooked. And once your food is cooked, all your minerals and vitamins is cooked out and your enzymes are gone. So you have no protection against cancers. You have no protection against heart disease. You have no protection against diabetes. You have no protection against ileitis and colitis and mucus colitis and IBS and all these different troubles in your eyes. You understand? But when you eat this way, you have protection. You know what I mean? And vampire cancer and AIDS and herpes and all them viruses never come into your system because you have protection. And you do what? You protect your thymus gland, which is the master gland of the immune system. Plus you keep your intestinal tract well to keep what? The blood well. You keep your liver well, and your liver will help keep you well and keep the blood flowing properly so you don't have no acid in your blood. You understand? So this is the way you have to eat. So am I malnourished or not? I leave it up to you to tell me now. Have a nice day. Blessed love. All right.